Hey everybody, happy Friday. Hope everybody's doing well. So excited. You guys are going to get to meet Josh tonight. Hey Alicia at Farm Fresh. Hey Barb's Country Home. No worries, Brampton Gardner. She's already passed out, by the way, guys. She already told me she'd be out cold. Hey, Doug and Carolyn, Holman's Homestead. Hope you're doing well. Leanne at the Mennonite Farmhouse. Hope you're staying warm. Hey, Lisa Colovi. Thanks for doing everything. I appreciate you. Hey, Green Granny 2, Denise Pacell. Hey, Sarah Rising Swine. Hope you're doing well. Hey, Broke Cowgirl. Gwen, hope you're doing well. You got Pewee on your lap. That'll keep you warm, Leanne. Well, you guys, I have got a special guest for you tonight. And so Josh is the sole farmer on Instagram, but he is also a part of Halbert Farm. And you guys know I'm always talking about Halbert Farm because Josh and Rebeka are the bomb. And they have been so helpful to us on our journey and have taken so much time to help me learn. And I'm just so excited that Josh is here tonight so you guys get a chance to meet him. You guys met Rebeka a while ago. And let's see. Hey, Kill It and Grill It. Hey, Strange Reality. Hey, Sparkman. Hey, On the Plant. Hey, Crubby the Beagle. Welcome in. Hey, Tom on the Plant. Hope everybody's doing well tonight. Well, I am going to bring up Josh so we can get started. Does that sound like a plan, everybody? Strange Reality said Josh and Rebeka are the bomb. Yes, absolutely. Yes, Rebeka was on ages ago. She was on a Veterans Day, but I don't think it was this past year. It was the other year. But she's also been on our podcast, How's Storm and Norman? Storm and Norman is back outside. It was 51 degrees today, so it was time for him to head back outside because after the cold passed, we were at like 32, 33, and I said, let him stay in a couple more days. So, and Rochelle is not here, Crubby. She just stopped in to say hey. All right, guys. Well, I am going to bring up Josh. Josh, you ready back there? All right. Hey there.
Hello.
Hello. So everybody, I'd like you to meet Josh with Halbert Farm. And we're going to be interviewing him tonight and talking about what he does. Oh, I was looking at the chat. Sorry, I got a little distracted. Sometimes it's hard for my brain to function. It was warmer there than here today. Sorry, Gwen. Strange Reality says hello to you.
Hello.
So yeah, Josh, why don't you talk a little bit about, whatever you feel comfortable sharing, like what you do on the farm there and about the farm as well.
Whatever I'm told. No, Rebeka's just had this crazy vision and we've been lucky enough to pull it off. And every year it's just amazing how much more we grow and more we do. But yeah, I'm just the man behind the plan, honestly.
You do a lot of work there. You guys have been doing a lot of different things there. So talk about all the animals that you have on the farm. A lot.
Yeah, it's we got 24 pigs, Kunekunes, and then we got I couldn't even tell you how many show chickens. We recently got rid of about 100 chickens. And now Rebeka's new thing is show chickens. So I want to say we have about 15 that actually she shows. And then we got the donkey, 2 horses. We got 7 cows, 3 dogs in the house, 2 dogs outside. We have 3 lovely turkeys from you, which the boy absolutely hates me. And we still managed to have 4 guineas too on the property. Oh, and 2 ducks.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yep. And I have to tell you, one of the turkeys we had, and Ryan and I were just talking about this, we used to have Julius and Custer, and then we'd have Beatrice and Elizabeth. And when we realized we had 2 pairs, we said, "Oh, we're going to keep them and we're going to breed them." And so Julius was out of his right mind. And we realize now that he really was the problem in the coop.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Custer is very calm, leaves the ladies alone. When Julius was in there, all 4 of them were in the nesting boxes. I was like,
Well, it's crazy because they are on display right now at the Texas, well, not the state fair, it's the stock show and rodeo. So they've been on display for nearly a month and having people come by all day long. Like my friend just saw them last week and said they're completely calm and they just sat there. So I'm hoping when they come back, it's going to be like, he won't be charging me every minute I go outside. So
yeah, they're strange. The ironic part is, and it's funny because you hatch them. And I know Rebeka's very hands-on with them and was, doing all that stuff. And it's funny because the 5 that we hatched were so attached to me. They would just come running over to me. They were so different than the breeding ones. And that's because we originally bought the breeding ones for meat and we really didn't do a lot of handling of them. And then when we saw the pairs, we were like, we're going to keep them. So they're warming up now, but they're just not all lovey-dovey like the other ones were.
she can pick the girls up, no problem. Just walks around with them. That boy, he just wants to charge. I don't know what it is. He's so protective.
Wow. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just going to go to the chat real quick. We've got Grace and Fire, Leanne at the Mennonite farmhouse at RIP Julius. Hey, Life with Linda and Chuck. And yes, they are in Texas, Broke Cowgirl. Let's see here.
Yeah, we're about 30 minutes south of Fort Worth, hour south of Dallas.
There you go. She said, because that's what male turkeys do. Let's see here. I just want to make sure. Are you sore from all your hard work from the ice storms?
Yeah, I don't know how you do it. More respect to you. That weather is awful. We had about 2 inches of just straight ice in the backyard. If anybody follows the Instagram, they probably saw Rebeka ice skating with the pigs in the backyard. So that's how bad it was.
Yeah, that was crazy. I was telling Rebeka, I was like, make sure you're listening when you're walking outside, because I said, the trees break when the ice is on it, but the trees also break when it's melting.
Yeah, see, we totally forgot about that. We were just so happy it was warm today and the sun was out. And I had to yell at my brother-in-law. I was like, you need to move your car, because I looked up and just sheets of ice were falling off the building right next to his car. And now just walking around looking up all day, making sure I didn't get hit.
Yeah. We have a wind that comes through, and the pine trees sadly will break off and the limbs won't fall, and we can't get to them. So I have one that's been up in the tree for about 2 years. I can't get the limb. We can't reach it. There have been windstorms and it's still hung up there. And so I just make sure that I'm walking all the way around it all the time.
Yeah.
And it's become such a habit, but it's a pain in the neck. We've talked about not clear cutting, but I'm going to say clear cutting the middle of the property.
Mm-hmm.
Just to get some more sun in, so that way we get more grass and less pine needles choking out the grass.
Yeah, we were happy we didn't have any crazy damage. And then sure enough, we look outside after everything melted and one of the rain gutters had completely collapsed on the chicken coop.
Oh.
Yeah, so.
And they were solid full of ice.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if that's the least of my worries, I'm okay with it.
Absolutely. The chickens are okay, right?
Oh, yeah. There's nobody in it.
Good. Broke Cowgirl said she is 70 miles north of Houston.
Okay.
Let's see here. I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything. So you guys breed your pigs.
Mm-hmm.
You got show chickens. Rebeka does horse shows as well.
Yeah, she does 3-day eventing.
3-day eventing. Yep,
Mhm.
that's awesome. And let's see, what else? You want to talk a little bit about you, like why you're called the Swole Farmer?
That's her fault. Um, Growing up, I was just really an overweight kid, and I got into working out through my brother and his friends, and it was just my hobby, my therapy. And once we started dating, about a year into it, she's like, "You spend like 2 to 3 hours at the gym. You either need to do something with it or find a new hobby." So I started competing at that point.
And what shows have you competed in or anything?
Uh, I've been competing for about 7 years now. I've done probably 6 shows in that time frame. Nothing. Texas has all kinds of shows. They basically have one every weekend.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
so yeah, whether it's here or Houston or up north, it's crazy. There's a show pretty much every 2 weeks at least.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
And
it's bigger than you think.
that's awesome. My gosh, how do you guys find time to do all the stuff that you're doing?
Make time. It's funny because everybody asks me like, "Oh, you must wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning to go feed," and that's not it at all. I wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning to go work out and get my day started. Because if I don't get my stuff done, you never know what's going to happen on the farm.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So I get everything done by about 8 o'clock. Come home, make her breakfast, wake her up, and then it's farm work all day.
Good deal. Broke Cowgirl says our sister-in-law competes. I don't know what it's called, but it combines shooting and bodybuilding and fitness.
Shooting. Hmm.
Hmm.
That sounds like a Texas thing. I don't know.
Strange. Oh, son-in-law. Sorry.
uh,
Yeah. Strange reality says deadlift? Question mark.
I don't. Do it. I don't. Um, it's not a funny story, but actually ruptured. No, I didn't rupture. I have 2 bulging discs in my back because of deadlifting and because of Rebeka. So
Poor Rebeka.
she doesn't like the gym or working out, and she doesn't understand why people deadlift to do like 1 rep. She's like, "Why do you? If you can only do 1 rep, you should be able to do a lot of weight." So she did the weight I was working out with that day, so we moved it up, and then I got hurt.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. So
Well, that's not good. Be careful.
yeah, I had to put that on the back burner. I'm not too worried about a deadlift. I mean, I
Yeah.
got to lift feed bags all day. So
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. And you guys get that ton of feed at a time and have to shovel it into those
yeah,
barrels, which is crazy.
yeah, it takes forever, but I don't know. I've got it down to about an hour.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Good deal. Strange Reality is asking about what are the shows?
Oh, the shows, they're just bodybuilding shows. It sounds ridiculous. You just get up in your underwear in front of people and pose.
You don't forget the spray tan, though.
And the spray tan. Yes, it's the weirdest sport in the world. No, it's a beauty pageant, basically.
Gotcha. But it's all about fitness too.
Yeah, like I said, it's my therapy. So, and it constantly makes me want to be better than I was. So I can't hate on it.
No, absolutely not. Um, Grayson Fire said it's not ridiculous. One of my trainers does that. She also said I weight train deadlifting is a no-no for me. I got hurt and several years later looking at surgery.
There are plenty of people that compete. They're Mr. Olympias that never even deadlift. So
Exactly.
do it, fantastic. Just not my thing.
And do you also have you're also a personal trainer, is that correct?
Yeah, I do personal training on the side and coaching. So I got a handful of competitors doing shows this year. So they check in once a week, and it's a monthly fee, but I do their diet, their training, just basically help them along to the show.
That's awesome. I feel like one of your clients, but the Kunekune pig kind.
Exactly. Yeah, I do pig training on the side too. So
Well, I will always hold a place in my heart for you and Rebeka, because you guys were walking me right through when Eleanor I was convinced was going to eat her babies.
it's you can't help but be worried. You never the first time's the worst, and then when you see them actually be a mother, you're like, what am I even doing here?
Yeah, yeah, and it's funny because they all say like pigs don't clean their babies off. Well, I'm sure that at some point the babies get cleaned off if we weren't there.
Oh yeah, it's honestly it's the most miraculous thing. Like these babies are born, they literally walk to the nipple as their mom sings to them, and then you see them walk up to their mom and they kiss her on the nose while she is just like almost dead to the world, but she just laughs and smiles, and it's so crazy. We have to be there for every birth.
Yeah, I wanted to be there because I wanted to see it. I had to. But yeah, it was just absolutely beautiful. I'm just going to go to the chat real quick because Broke Cowgirl said, I think it's called tactical fitness. Neither of them are answering their texts.
Okay, that makes more sense. I've heard of something like that. I've never actually seen it done though, but I'm actually very interested.
Yeah, that's fascinating. I was just reading about Smithfield Foods, WH Group feeding the pigs plastic garbage. Have you heard of that? I haven't.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I haven't heard of that.
No, I know pigs will basically eat anything you throw their way, but
yes, they will. That doesn't mean they need to eat it, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Don't get me started on that soapbox. I was on that soapbox today with somebody on Instagram, and I was like, just because pigs can eat like a garbage can doesn't mean they need to be fed like one.
Just the stories we've heard and the things we've seen. I mean, I won't even get on Facebook. I can't. Just everybody's an expert, which I love that there's that much information, but I can't. It's too much.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, she said it's called Tactical Games. He trains at the gym some, but a lot at home. He was lifting 250 pounds the other day.
Nice.
That's awesome.
I hope he's not shooting at the gym, but
gosh.
That's crazy. Somebody showed me the other day, they have this gym with a shooting range downstairs. So that might be a part of it, because I've never heard of that before.
Oh, wow. That's cool. I've seen like the ones where I'm going to say cross country, but where they do them out in the snow, where they're like cross country skiing and then they're shooting at targets and doing all that.
Yep.
Hey, Carla, living a rogue life. Thank you. So talk a little bit about how you train your pigs, because I think that, well, come on now. You're the pig whisperer, Rebeka said.
I get them and they get me. Like they're just the calmest thing in the world, and if they want your attention, they're gonna come get it. And I don't know. It clicked with all of them right away. The training's so easy though. They're so food driven and they're so incredibly smart. So it's just repetition and reward. That's all it is.
Yep. And so all of your pigs sit for their meals, which is really
only
cool.
one that doesn't sit is Scarlet. Scarlet got stepped on by a horse, so she's got a bad foot.
Oh, poor Scarlet.
It was at the home she was at, but we are a forever home, so we take back pigs all the time. And I say all the time. That's what we do. We take them back, but we've only had like 4 returns.
Can you talk a little bit about that? Because I think that's a really awesome thing to do.
Sure. We know how the pig world is. A lot of people don't know what they're getting into. And I mean, we're not going to be part of the problem. We're breeders, but we do it. I like to tell people, especially at the Airbnb tours, it's really about sharing these guys with people. That's what it is to us. It's not about making money, or it's not about just breeding excessively. It's about sharing these guys. They're so special.
Mm-hmm.
that's why we'll take them back at any time.
That's awesome. And you said you've taken 4 back?
It might be, I want to say 6, but we've only brought back 2 that have stayed here.
Yep.
So we found forever homes for them.
That's awesome. It's so important because, there's that whole thing. Before I had pigs, there was a rescue organization in Asheville, North Carolina, and it was called Brother Wolf.
Mm-hmm.
And this was before we had the farm and all that stuff. And so I saw that they were having pigs up for adoption. I wasn't going to get a pig, but I was going to check them out because they were letting you in there, petting them, So I went in there to check them out, and there was someone there from the organization who talked all about the fact that, the whole pig world and how people think that, pigs are going to stay this little.
Yep.
The teacup pig, which is a crock. And, all of these pigs, some of them were in apartments, and I'm looking at them and they're bigger than Sherman.
That's crazy.
And it's just like, I can't believe that. I can believe it. I'm not going to say that. I can't believe it. But for me, it's always research before you do it. Now, I'm not saying my research is 100% because, as you know, like, I would be nowhere without you guys giving me information. But, it's just incredible to me that people don't think. To me, it's like when we went to get a bulldog, we looked at a bulldog and what that meant.
Yep.
And that's why we went with an Old English versus an English, because just a couple of the things is the English has like a tail pocket that has to be cleaned all the time and stuff like that, whereas Old English is typically less health issues. Of course, we learn different, but the point is you learn the different things about it before you get into an animal, I think.
It's crazy. We do have people that come and they do their research. Like you mentioned apartment, we had one return, and this lady wanted a pig all her life. When she had to bring it back, she was bawling her eyes out. It was the saddest thing. But here in Texas, they love building these little townhomes where the garage is downstairs, and then you go upstairs, and that's where your house is. Well, she thought the pig could climb stairs. Not once did she ask if they could climb stairs, or once she got home, she realized it just wasn't feasible, and she had to return it. But our return stories, they're amazing. That pig was home for 2 days, and we got a call it was actually an NFL player. And he's like, "Hey, I'm kind of curious about pigs." And Rebeka didn't know who he was. I had to look him up and be like, "Yeah, he plays in the NFL."
Right.
So now that pig is just living on the biggest area ever. He has 2 of ours now, and it's amazing. The returns, they end up at 10 times better places. So
True. That's good. And Grayson Fire was saying that she liked that you were being responsible as breeders.
Oh, we try our best. I don't want to talk bad about breeders. Are crazy, so we try to be as possible.
They are.
Yeah. And I think that's part of it. Is like when we started buying pigs, is like we're like, we want to be this way, not that way, and so we've been lucky enough to do it our way, and it's worked out fantastic.
That's awesome. Yeah, and that's what I want to do is kind of learn more from you guys, and obviously I do. And Rebeka and I have been talking about, and you and I have talked about it too, but just being responsible about breeding and so on and so forth. Let's see. Yeah, and the other thing is I am impressed by how smart these animals are.
Oh, yeah.
It's funny because did dog training with Diesel and Yogi, and Yogi would have never gone for Norman in the house. I can tell you that right now. It's a bulldog thing. They like to be only dogs is usually the thing. They often get rehomed because they can't be in a multiple animal house usually. So at the time we picked up Diesel, he was great. And he, like I said, he's been with a little cat, probably about 6-7 pounds the cat was, and he was fine. And the cat would smack him in the face and he was fine. I think that he's really solidified with us because we just got him when Yogi passed. So a lot went on that first few months, and then we moved out here. So he was with me while Ryan was out here. And so I think now he's really settled in his life with us, and that's part of the problem with him and Norman. But it's funny because when I was training Norman and you were sending me a video and showing me how to do different things, and I was doing that with Norman, I noticed that he also is like a dog. They get tired of the treats sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like I have the blueberry and it's like, and they're dropping on the floor because he doesn't want them. He's like, all right, I've had enough to eat right now.
No, they're crazy, and they're just so much fun to train, and they really are. They're simple. They love to listen and they love getting treats. So
absolutely. What are the treats that you like to give yours?
Well, I mean, the house pigs get whatever we're eating, but cucumbers and carrots is really what we do for like the tours, and just if we're going to go feed the pigs outside. But pigs, they can handle chocolate and stuff, unlike dogs. So we try to get cupcakes for everybody's birthday, so we try to do something special for them.
That's awesome. Talk a little bit about the house pigs.
Which one?
I know. Talk about all of them.
Well, Ripley, she'll be 4 in June or July. Rebecca's going to kill me because I don't know it. But she'll be 4. She weighs about 200 pounds now, so she still fits through the doggy door, surprisingly. But for people that don't know her story, she got stepped on when she was about 3 hours old, and it almost cut her in half. And they stitched her up. There's no major damage, and she's been a house pig ever since. We tried to rehome her with her brothers and sisters when she was old enough, but she would run in the house and hide. She potty trained herself. She learned to use a doggy door. So she was the daughter I never asked for.
She is priceless.
She's amazing. And then Riley is 8 months old, and Riley was born with a neurological disorder. When she came out of the womb, she would just spin in circles. She couldn't even attach to a teat. So day one, we brought her in, and we had to start feeding her. Her nickname was Little Mess. If I call her Little Mess, that's why. But she would just spin around her bowl, and she would just fling food everywhere. So we just called her Little Mess. And honestly, we didn't know what was going on, so we didn't want to name her for the longest time. And when Rebecca's sister moved here, they're just intertwined. They're mother-daughter. So she named her Riley, and she's got spayed about a month ago, so she'll be here the rest of her life.
That's awesome. And she doesn't seem to spin as much anymore.
Oh, no, she does.
She does?
Yeah, except in like little tight circles, she'll run around you while you try to feed her, so it makes it impossible to walk.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
And she likes to bang her head.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she like sucks on the floor and then lifts her head, so it looks like she's head banging. So I love playing like Metallica and just recording it. I think it's the funniest thing in the world. But
she's really, I mean, blossomed compared. I remember when she was first born. She's really blossomed.
It's crazy.
I know it. The Cow Emporium said we've had calves that went in circles. And Broke Cowgirl said I've had to stitch up a neighbor's piglet that was ripped open. Bland's Promised Land Ranch, they had a piglet that was stepped on by its mama, but that was like a red wattle breed. So mama was pretty big. And they had Gizmo in the house, and Gizmo had the kind of wound that really shouldn't be stitched up because of infection. So this poor thing had to heal from the inside out, but it was on his shoulder, and he's living a good life now too. Let's see. Cow Emporium, isn't that caused from listeriosis in sheep and goats? Huh.
It can be caused in pigs too. We actually took her down to Texas A&M, and we had her evaluated about at 2 weeks old. But at that age, they can't put them under to do an MRI or CAT scan. but they thoroughly evaluated her and they did not think it was an infection. They think that she had some type of nerve damage on her cerebellum when she was actually born. They think the mom maybe sat down when she actually was being born, or it was just such a strenuous birth for her. And that's what they think happened. And as she's grown up, they think it actually has alleviated some of that swelling and that pressure on the nerve. And that's why she's gotten better.
Oh, that's awesome. I didn't realize all of that. That's awesome to hear.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was, we really had no idea what we were going to do. And I mean, we exhaust every last option with these guys. So
absolutely. I just want to look at the chat real quick. So, Grayson Fire said that's so interesting. I know, isn't it? They take such good care of their animals. I love it. You also have livestock guardian dogs there,
mm-hmm.
and you've got little dachshunds there.
Oh yeah, 3 now.
So in the house you have 2 pigs and the 3 dachshunds, right?
Yep. We got Herschel, Ranger, and Slinky. We got the wired hair, the short hair, and the long hair. So
that's awesome. Gwinnett Bro Cowgirl has little dogs. She was actually she had asked me how the gate was staying up with Norman standing on it. You saw that little stinker.
Oh yeah, I love him. He's my favorite.
He's so funny. He's back there and he's leaning on. The other gate was wooden and it cracked, so I tossed it. Well, that one wouldn't hold him up too well. Well, then I had the plastic one, and now he's standing on it. And Gwen had asked me, "How does that stay up? Because my dogs knock him over." I said, "I have to have Ryan put it up so it's wedged in there."
Yeah.
Otherwise, I was afraid we were going to come home and find, Norman running around the house.
Yeah, we have one pig, Ripley's sister, Dorothy, and she will climb the fence every time you go feed her. And it's just hog panels with T-posts, so they just bend. And I don't know how they've stayed up for this long, but she's insane. She's the sweetest thing in the world, but she will take my feet out, try and get food.
Grant does that to me as well, and he's also undermining the fence. He stopped it when he was down in the back pasture.
Mm-hmm.
And I was so, feeling proud of myself because he stopped. You know what I think it is? I think by the time I fed them last, he was not as excited.
Oh, okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So apparently I didn't accomplish a darn thing, because now that they're up closer to the house, he's just like, he's right on the fence. Hey, Ark Wildman Survival. Hey, Dark Lurminette. Hey, Blue Collar Homestead. Thanks for coming in tonight. We're talking with Josh, who is the Swole Farmer on Instagram, and also Halbert Farm. And his information and all their information is in the description box of the video. So if you guys are interested, go give them a follow. Lots of fitness, farming, all that kind of stuff going on. Working through the ice storm.
That was insane.
I know it.
I mean, she taught me into figure skating last year, and I was like, oh, I can handle this. It's no problem. No, that was nuts. And every year, Texas gets worse. I don't know. Every year, it's something we've never seen before. So.
And have you lived in Texas your whole life?
Yeah, I grew up about 30 minutes from here. So, and cool. I mean, I grew up like governmentally funded housing. Like a farm was never on my radar. And then I met Rebeka, and yeah, so this is my life. And
there you are, full-time farming now.
Oh yeah, never expected it, but would not have it any other way.
I'm with you. I'm loving it myself. It's fun. Mm-hmm. So speaking of insane times, you were just telling me right before we came live that you have everybody together for breeding season. And so how many piglets are you expecting, hopefully?
I'm preparing myself for 60. So
Woo!
Yeah, we had 4 litters in 5 days last year, and that was, oh my God, it was horrible. I got like 5 hours of sleep that week, and 2 of it was sleeping on Scarlett during her giving birth. Like I fell asleep and with her. It was horrible. And it started raining too. I was half in, half out, and I woke up soaking wet. So
oh geez.
But it was it was a lot of fun having that many piglets around, and at that same age, we could let them all out and play with each other once they get a little older. So, but
That is fun when you have the space to be able to do that and let them all out together. And I bet how fun it would be to watch them run around like that.
oh, it's just the best is they're so curious. I mean, you've been around piglets; they're the most curious thing in the world. They want to chew on your shoe, see what you're all about. So you can just go out there and lay like a snow angel and run all over you. It's, I mean, doesn't get any better.
Oh, I agree. I agree. And it's funny you mention that because Norman was like having a toddler in the house. He, like this is my desk and I have like a light ring over there for when I do videos and stuff. And I have some other stuff. And I had to constantly move the wires because he would make a beeline to it. The other thing is I would sweep the floor before we let him out because we have the wood pellet stove.
Mm-hmm.
And, sometimes you dump the bag in the stove, a pellet drops. Well, Diesel leaves it alone because it doesn't taste good. Norman, he's just like,
yeah, he wants to go chew on it.
Exactly. Hey, Mad Acre Farms. Someone asked about insurance. Let me just go back. Someone said, Strange Reality said, is there such a thing for farm animal insurance like when you have pet health insurance?
I've never heard of it.
So a couple people in the chat said they never heard of it other than for horses. I have, if they get out and hit, they pay for the damages.
I know through certain farm bureaus you can cover your animals, but it's in case like a freak accident. I don't know if it covers like the vet bills.
Yeah, that seems to be the consensus because the Cow Emporium is in Etten Glen and they are in Alberta, Canada. And they are on a farm and they have cows and they, the farm has been in the family for years and years and years. And so I've learned a lot from them.
I mean, that's your weather right there. You should.
That's my weather. If we get another negative 47 wind chill, I told Ryan we're moving.
I'm telling you, come down to Texas.
Okay. I will do that.
Just that one ice storm a year, you can handle that.
Oh, I totally can handle that. We used to get ice storms in Connecticut all the time.
There you go.
And North Carolina.
The worst is when it's like 110 outside. It seems not that bad, but it's awful.
I can't deal with that.
Neither can the pigs. You constantly have to keep their pools full, and they're just walking around covered in mud all day. So
exactly. Yeah. See, it's funny because we don't get that hot. I mean, don't get me wrong. I do have days that I have to check on the pigs a lot. But the cold weather is really when we're out there feeding them and so on. Oh, I have to tell you a funny story because you know that we feed our. Oh, I think I told you this. Well, we feed our pigs extra, obviously, in the really cold to keep their internal heat up.
Yep.
So the day after that last brief cold spell, I go out there and I throw out a bunch of apples. My pigs all looked at me like, where's the food at? And I was like, no, not getting fed 3-4 times today. It's like going to be 23. You'll be fine. It's funny because like they won't eat Eleanor is like the pickiest one. She won't eat like cucumbers.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. Fiona will eat anything you put in front of her. Fiona gets so excited for hay.
Oh,
so excited for hay. The rest of them, they're like, okay.
They fight over alfalfa. They go nuts for it here. It's insane. But I mean, it's great because if I want to keep them outside all day, I'll just throw a little alfalfa down. And they'll come in 5 hours later, green nose, and go to sleep.
Yeah, they love it. They love it. Let's see here. I just want to go to the chat real quick. You come to South Dakota for the scenery, stay because you're frozen to the ground. Yeah, exactly. It's so beautiful, though. I do love South Dakota.
We have to make a trip up there. I went with my sister, and we saw Mount Rushmore, and they were building at the time. I can't remember what it was. It's the one that's supposed to rival. Is it Crazy Horse or something like that?
Yeah.
That was nuts, and just the scenery around it. I mean, we drove through Colorado, through Wyoming, and South Dakota, and it's just like one big state. It all looked the same. It was beautiful.
Yeah. Wyoming is a little more. Well, I know I can see what you're saying with that. So, like, if you leave our house and you go out, say, 20 minutes in any direction, pretty much, you come out of the mountains and you're out on the plains, and it's much different.
Mm.
But the same thing with Wyoming, because we are right up against the Wyoming border. And so once you get over the mountain into Wyoming, it's much more plains there as well. And it's like the pine trees drop off, and it's a much different picture. So Wyoming very much looks like the plains of South Dakota.
Mm.
It's pretty cool. But then it's funny, you come in here and it's like all of a sudden everything's closed in. Crazy Horse is still being worked on.
I figured. I heard they didn't get all the funding, so I heard it's still like halfway built. But that was like back in 2010, I think. It's been a while.
Yeah, they're making progress. Like, we see progress that they've made. Well, Ryan said he noticed it from when he came out in 2019, because they are getting people to work on it, but it's just so slow. We'll never see it in our lifetime.
It was hilarious though, because we pulled up to the gates to drive down there, and they're like, "Oh, it's $50," and we're like, "Why would we pay $50? It's not even built yet." And then we all looked at each other in the car. We're like, "We can clearly see it from here. Why would we even drive up?" It's the worst setup. I mean, you can see it just like you see Mount Rushmore. It's so just huge. You don't need to drive down there and park.
Exactly. And it's funny, when I came out to visit South Dakota, when Ryan and I went through here, that's exactly what I said to him. I'm like, we're not paying, but guess what? You come visit us, we're residents. We get to go in there for free.
Nice.
I did that a couple of years ago when my friend came out. So it's really cool. Meanwhile, Mount Rushmore is only $10
Yeah, we
for
actually
parking.
the day we went, they didn't have anybody to come in, so they just left the gates open. Like, yeah, we were walking around, and finally somebody showed up, and he's like, "Oh, we didn't have a ticket person, so just enjoy."
That's awesome.
So yeah, it was crazy, but no, we drove through the Badlands too, and I have done so much reading about the Badlands, and I'm trying to convince Rebeka to go up there and go hiking. It's so just amazing.
Oh, you have got to see the Badlands. Bro Cowgirl said zoom lens. Yeah, Bro Cowgirl, I'll send you a picture of Crazy Horse, because I pass it all the time.
Yeah, you can get it on your cell phone from there. It's that big. I can't believe how big it is.
I pass it all the time, and I usually post it in my stories when I pass it. Oh, the Cow Emporium. She's coming down. Annette's coming down.
There you go.
Yeah, totally. You guys should come up. I mean, even if you come up for like a weekend, because I know with the farm, it's just hard to get away and stuff, but we could totally tour you around everywhere.
Yeah, no, we've been talking about it for quite a while. We got to make it up there, because our favorite place in the world is the Grand Canyon. We're just obsessed with it, and I've just heard so much good about the Badlands and how less crowded it is, and we got to make it up there.
Yeah, the Badlands for me was super impressive. One of the things that I noticed about the Badlands was, I think it was prettier than the Grand Canyon.
That's what I've heard.
That's what I say, because I saw the Grand Canyon as a kid, but the colors of it are just incredible. And the wildlife, the bison in the Badlands, they're huge, right? They're huge compared to the Custer State Park ones. They're huge. And to see them in the wintertime, see them in the summer, they are massive creatures.
We got to go. We lucked out that we had the best trip of our life. Like, we went to the Grand Canyon during COVID once it started, and it was amazing. Nobody there.
Yeah.
Empty. And our trip was a mule ride down, and then we took a mule out the next day, which was horrifying but amazing. And then we we actually did the Colorado River and rafted it through the Grand Canyon. And they usually do those trips with like 20 people on a raft.
Yep.
We had 5. It was so special. But we always joked around. We thought it was like an end of days thing because we had no idea what was going on in the real world. Like we were going to come out of the Grand Canyon, there'd be zombies everywhere. Like,
well, you never know these days.
at that time, it was very beginning. It was like in June, right after everything started. So it was nice getting away and not having to hear anything for a week.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Let's see. Does anyone have to worry about fleas with pigs, indoor pigs, barn cats, or livestock guardian dogs?
Barn cats and dogs. Pigs, they don't really, they might get mange here and there, but nothing really sticks to their skin. It's too thick.
They can get lice, right?
They can get mange. I've never heard of lice. I'm sure they can, but it'd be easy to get off of them just because their skin is so thick. It's hard for anything to stick on.
Yeah, or mites. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Plus, that's the thing that I find so challenging. I don't know about you, but when you look up pigs, right, you get all the commercial breeds. Then when you go to look up Kunekune specific information, it's like looking for a deer tick on your long-haired dog. Have you come across that?
Oh yeah, no, there's no information out there for it, and they think everything's classified like to just pigs in general, but it's not how it is. Thankfully, when we got into like the pigs, we had mentors, which is the way it should be. The person you buy your pig from should be the person teaching you and helping you. Nowadays, it's kind of different. It's kind of just you buy a pig from somebody and never hear from them again.
Yeah.
I think during that time, everybody wanted to go into homesteading, and a lot of people started breeding animals to try to make money while they're out of work, and that kind of just watered everything down. But thankfully, our friend Paula, Liberty Farms in Louisiana, she's the best. I mean, she taught us everything. We talk to her every day. So we got like 5 of her pigs.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's the way it needs to be. I mean, because I was feeling pretty good about doing all the research that I did, and I was taking screenshots of what you and Rebeka were sending me, and I was writing things down, and I was feeling really confident. And then Eleanor started giving birth, and that's when you heard from me.
That's why I told you every day. I was like, you're not going to know what's going to happen, but you're going to be there, and it's going to be fine. Because you can't predict it. It's
so true. It's so true. Well, at least I didn't bother you in the middle of the night when Fiona went.
I think I woke up and saw it, and I texted you. I was like, what's going on?
Yeah. But yeah, it'll be exciting. So what other stuff have I not asked you about? Because I told you I'm laid back.
I have no idea. Ask away.
You guys have any questions for Josh about the farm, about his bodybuilding competitions, anything like that? I'm going to take a drink of water myself.
It's crazy. Shiloh was our last litter that we had, and she actually gave birth. I checked her that morning. There was no milk, but she was acting weird. She kept going in the house, and I was like, wait, something's odd. So I went to the grocery store, and I get a call that she's having babies. And it's crazy because what Rebeka and her sister told me is that the babies had actually wandered in the backyard, and that's how they spotted them. So they walked about 50 yards about 25 yards into the backyard, and somehow got through the gate, and her sister spotted them. So they ran out there, and she did have a stillborn. I don't know if it was stuck for a while, but if it wasn't for that baby, we wouldn't know what's going on, and we probably wouldn't have got to her in time.
Oh, wow. Yeah, they move around pretty quick, don't they?
Trying to think of questions, but they're all weird. Bring on the weird questions.
Here's one. Do you breed them once per year or more than that?
We only breed once per year, if that. We got 4 that aren't going to be having babies this year. So every year we got our little spreadsheet, and we check everybody's COI and who we think would look cute together, and bloodlines, and then we kind of draw out who we think will work, and then we finally decide on it in November. So
your pigs are all registered also, correct?
Yep.
And who are they registered with?
Some are double registered, and most of them are just AKKPS. So
Okay, so you do the AKKPS.
yeah, we were doing IKHR, and are they the ones that just changed that you have to have the ear tag?
I know that AKKPS is going through a lot of changes.
Yeah, the people behind that stuff is crazy, but yeah, AKP. Yeah, I think IKHR is the ones that are having to do ear tags now, and then we really just don't want to do that. We prefer the microchip.
Gotcha.
So
yeah, I don't care for the ear tags.
we have one that has an ear tag, but she got that from her breeder.
Gotcha.
She has almost all of the Starbucks mugs. I don't know if she has all the states. So her mother, all she does is travel, so she always sends them. And then I used to do contract work for an airline, and everywhere they'd send me to work on planes, I would actually pick one up at the airport. So she has a lot.
That's awesome. Food you hate?
It's nuts.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And that's just the one she put on display.
That's cool.
Food I hate? Onions. I hate onions.
Really?
Oh, I can't stand it. I'm very picky. So being a bodybuilder is kind of easy because it's all meat, potatoes, chicken, and rice. I'll eat broccoli and asparagus. I don't mind it, but I hate onions. I hate peppers. I'm a texture guy. Like, I have super sensitive taste, so texture I can't do.
You like sweets though?
Oh god, yeah. Yeah. It's horrible.
I was thinking of you the other day because I saw on one of the Instagram feeds. I was going to screenshot it and send it to you, but I don't know what happened. A squirrel ran by or something. But they were making these Twinkies at home.
Oh no, I saw that. I actually know what you're talking about. Rebeka showed it to me.
That's funny.
Yeah, no, and that little that gift that she sent you.
Yeah.
That's actually. Have you ever heard of Buc-ee's?
Yes.
Okay, so we got that at Buc-ee's, and the reason she got it is I was taking so long just looking for candy. She's like, "I'm gonna go shop over here."
That's so funny. So Rebeka and Josh sent me this sign for the bathroom that has a pig, and it says, "Wash your hands, you filthy animal." So yeah, it's super cool.
So we actually saw that, and I think she bought one for our house, and then we left, and she's like, "We got to go back." I'm like, "What?" She's like, "I have to get Lisa one." And I was like, "You're kidding me, right?" And she's like, No, we have to go back. So we went, we did what we had to do in Austin, and then on our way home, we stopped, we pulled over, we bought that, and then she found the bluebonnet stuff and some other stuff, and she's like, "I got to get all this for her."
Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you. The bluebonnet stuff is amazing.
Yeah, she lucked out finding that because we couldn't find the right one she wanted. They only had like a huge jar of it. And
yep.
Found it right as we walked out. So.
Oh, that is awesome. It's goat milk lotion. Gwen, I know that Gwen has Nigerian dwarf goats, and she makes all kinds of stuff. So I wanted to tell you, it smells so amazing. You said some aren't going to be pregnant this time, meaning you give some a break. Somebody was asking.
Yeah. So it's also because we have like 5 Jennies. Jenny's a bloodline. So we have Panda, we have her daughter Scarlet and Nugget, and then Ripley is a Jenny. So her sister Dorothy's a Jenny. So we try not to, because we also try to breed to where we can offer breeding pairs as well.
Yep.
And so we have a bunch of Jennies. It's hard to offer breeding pairs because they're all related in somehow, some way. So, but yeah, so my baby girl Nugget, Dorothy, and Scarlet and Panda are breeding. Nugget and Dorothy are taking a break.
Well, that's good. So is it Shiloh that just had the litter late in the year?
Shyla, yeah.
Shyla, sorry. So Shyla, she just had a litter, and how many months is it between before she'll have a litter again?
We're actually going to put her back in. She was such an amazing mother. I'm actually going to put her in probably next couple of days. I keep telling myself I'm going to do it, but it's really hard moving them around.
How many months is that in between, though?
So she had her babies in August.
Okay.
So August till now. It gives her a little break. She did not lose any weight. We tried a new system with her, and we fed her calf manna along with her feed, and she stayed such a healthy weight through the entire time. It never looked like she even had piglets. So
Wow.
yeah, but she she was just an amazing mother. When we got her, she was super shy, super timid. She was raised in the breeders weren't really giving her social attention. They would just kind of throw feed over the fence. And we named her Shyla because she was just so scared and shy. And it took us about 2 months. We sat in her pen every night for about 2 hours after we fed her just to get her used to coming up to us. And she was still scared, still nervous, but she really found peace in watching the piglets.
Aww.
So she would just follow them up and down the fence, and she was just obsessed with them. And when she had her litter this year, she just laid there and watched her piglets all day. She was the sweetest thing in the world. And she had one piglet. I've never seen this before, but his name was Bard, and he would go kiss her on the nose after he fed every time.
Oh, how cute.
During the tours, nobody believed it, and we get to see him feed all the time, and I'd be like, wait for it. And then everybody freak out. They thought it was the cutest thing in the world.
Oh, that's so sweet. That's so sweet. Well, that's why I was asking how many months in between, because I know that we plan to, like I was telling you, breed earlier because last year was the learning curve. So this year we can see signs of heat and so on. And so we're just trying to move it up earlier so that way we're not in the same situation with Norman.
Yeah.
Going into the winter, because now he is 5.5 months old. Well, almost 6 months old. So still tiny.
Oh, I know. He's the best though. It's my goal. It's my goal to get him in the house for good.
Strange Reality says, were you able to get that on video with the boy kissing Shyla?
Oh, I'm sure I have it somewhere. I haven't posted it. I have to look at all the video. My whole phone is just pig videos. It's awful.
Mine too.
I literally had to pay Google to update my terabytes or whatever. It's so bad.
I had to do that too once the litters came. I just wanted to move outside.
She gives me a hard time all the time, but it's hard to get anything done because when you go down and they want to be all cuddly and cute, and I'm stuck down there and 2 hours have gone by and I've gotten 30 minutes of work done. So,
well, you probably welcome the ice storm in a way, because once you fed, hopefully you got a break from everything outside.
It's weird sitting inside. I mean, I would get everything done, come warm up and wait until dinner. I didn't know what to do with myself.
Yeah, it is weird. It is. See, it's funny for us when it gets like really cold, we're outside more than we're inside. It's crazy. It's like I feel like I finally it takes you forever to get dressed and all that stuff.
And see, that's the thing with me. I want to get it all done. So once I'm dressed, I'll be out there for 6 hours if I have to be, because I don't want to come in and change, and I can't stand warm and cold, and I just got to get it done.
Yeah, for sure. Gwen says when it's cold, chore times is really quick. Yeah.
No it was kidding. So frozen. I couldn't really do chores. I couldn't clean up poop. I mean, it was just frozen. Everything. Every morning I woke up, it was frozen under a layer of ice. So,
welcome to my world, where you trip over the poop because when your foot hits it, it goes nowhere.
Yeah, it's like a stump.
Oh, totally. And that's why every time it gets warm out, like this weekend, we'll probably be out there cleaning out pens, because even turkey pens, you can't get them cleaned out because everything's frozen.
I don't know how you do it. I don't.
It's not too bad. The cold, the really, really frigid cold bothers me. The snow doesn't, because like we plow a path right down there. Like regular snow is fine.
Well, I mean, everybody here would complain because I think we got down to -2 one day.
Wow.
I would just show them my phone and be like, "This is my friend. It's -47, so shut up." I
And
didn't know.
that was not normal for us at all.
Oh no, but you went through it.
Oh, it was awful. It was awful. Yes, you do get sweaty working when you're bundled up. Absolutely. Today at 51, we were walking across Deerfield Reservoir and we were ice fishing. And, when you're sitting down on the ice, it gets cold. It feels cold. You know what I mean? You're standing on ice all day, all that kind of stuff. And then when you sit down, there's a breeze and all that. But then, walking with the sled, dragging everything, holding a 5-gallon bucket full of minnows and all that stuff, it's like you're sweating so bad.
Oh, yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I didn't even know I had a hole in my boots or something. I came in, my feet were frozen. I didn't think twice of it, and I complained to Rebeka, and she felt my sock. She's like, "Your sock's soaking wet." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" It's like, "I'm just cold." But yeah, apparently I got 2 big holes in each boot, so that's
Oh
fine.
no.
Yeah.
Buy a pair of those Hesias.
I did. I bought the wrong pair. So the ones you have are like Rebecca's, and they have a thinner sole. I bought the ankle ones because I don't like having huge boots. I got really big calves, but I didn't see the soles are like 2 inches.
Oh wow.
They're so heavy, and I climb the hog fences, and you can't even fit that in between them. So
Oh wow.
yeah, so I just bought the wrong pair. I just use my old muck boots that I've had for like 2 years.
I
Keep
know
telling
the
myself I'll
insulated
buy a pair, but I don't.
I know the insulated ones that I bought. The first ones that I've had where my feet do not get cold. I stood on the ice all day. Hey, Anastasia's wishes.
Yeah, she really likes hers. I've just always bought muck boots and had no issues with them. But
That's awesome.
I wear them out too much. Like I need to look into the Hesias because they're cheaper.
Cool. Hey Sarah, homesteading hustle. No worries, no worries. Hey, our treasured home, Nancy. Hello. So we're at our hour. I just want, if anybody else has any more questions for Josh, I'll give you guys a minute. But Josh, I really appreciate you coming on tonight.
Oh, absolutely.
And of course, I appreciate you and Rebeka for all you do. We appreciate your friendship.
No, we're gonna make it up there for sure.
Oh, I can't wait. I'm just giving them a minute in the chat because sometimes it's a little delayed coming up, and then I know it's late by you.
It's only like 9:30.
Well, that's not too bad.
No.
I know some of my Eastern time zone people, it's like Leanne, it's 10:30. So just want to double check. So you guys have any questions? Make sure if you're on Instagram or Facebook, Halbert Farm, and Instagram, Josh is at the Swole Farmer. So you'll be able to see some of the things that they do. Strange Reality said it was great to meet you. Much love from Cleveland, Ohio.
I apologize for my Instagram pictures. Watch my stories, not my pictures.
Watch his stories, not his pictures. Mennonite farmhouse said our eyelids are dancing. Go to bed, Leanne. Go to bed. Sarah said I'm going to go find him right now. And yes, you'll be able to see Ripley, the house pig, along with Riley, the house pig, also. And that's at Halbert Farm. I'll type it in the chat for you guys so you know the 2 accounts. And it's farm without the S, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Just one word.
Because I know that a lot of people say that to me. They're like, Yogihollowfarm, farms. So everything out here is ranch.
Yeah, same here in Texas. But no, and all the scam accounts that try to get us, they do farms for some reason.
Yeah. Sarah said you're a bodybuilder. I did that once.
Nice. Did you compete or just follow? Because I know nowadays, like bodybuilders are people that follow the lifestyle. I hate saying it's just if you compete, because I know people that live the lifestyle but never want to step on stage.
True. It'll take her a minute to respond. She makes a killer sourdough bread loaf. I'll tell you that right now.
Well, I'm obsessed with sourdough, and Rebecca's been buying like pre-made loaves that she has to bake. So we need to get into actually making some.
I will. Well, if Rebecca wants to, I can tell her what I do, and it's really easy. Hey, Annette, Annie's Kitchen.
Second place is no joke. Congratulations.
Nice. Sourdough is good. No soy. Very cool. Yeah. I just got this big container for flour to make my sourdough bread. It's super easy. If I can do it, anybody can do it.
I love every time you scar it with a pig nose too. That's the best.
I'm going to keep doing that. I think it's driving the people on Instagram nuts because they, make this beautiful artwork and I'm sitting here putting a snout.
I can't remember the name of there's an account out there and they make sourdough like every day. And she's not very artistic. So she plays with it and I love it. It's so cool seeing what she does.
Well, I don't see any other questions, so thank you everybody for being here tonight. Thank you, Josh, so much for taking the time. I know you're busy and I'm glad everybody had a chance to meet you.
Absolutely. I'm glad you finally had me on.
That's awesome. Well, you're welcome back anytime.
I'll take you up on that offer.
All right. Well, that sounds good. And the Cow Emporium says, I have a girlfriend that competes. It is an all-consuming time during competitions.
It is. Bodybuilders are selfish. I mean that in the best possible way. It's just like you said, it is all consuming. It is diet, exercise, training, cardio, meals. It's a lifestyle.
Yeah, I could see that. Hey, Barb's Country Home. No worries. No worries. Well, guys, thank you so much for being here. Thanks for welcoming Josh in tonight. And I hope everybody has a wonderful weekend and have a great weekend. Stay warm. All right. Take care, y'all. Bye, Josh.
Bye,
everybody.